Hi, the TAKful Creator here. Okay, let's get started. May God the Creator bless us. May God the Redeemer heal us. May God the Holy Spirit enlighten us. Give us eyes to see, ears to hear, and hands to do the work of God. Feet to walk the path of justice, and mouths to preach the good news. May the angel of peace, prosperity, love, abundance, guidance, and grace watch over us and lead us to the reign of God. Oh, shit. Okay, so in the previous reading, we talked about clairaudience and the importance of tapping into that psychic gift. It's part of your sixth sense, that psychic gift. During this time, or whenever time you are watching this reading. I appreciate your likes, shares, subscribes. I'm going to put my information in the description if you want a personal, or if you want to contact me about anything that's in my reading that you need a little bit more information about, or you would like to learn in any regard. You know, I'll put my email in the description, okay, so you can contact me. Just to let you know, yeah, no, we don't do things for free, okay? Energetic compliance. So, energetically, how can you offer assistance to me, and I will energetically offer assistance to you, but we can speak about that via email. Anyway, back to this reading. Clairaudience. If you don't have it already, or you don't believe that you have it, it is a skill set that you can learn. It's a psychic gift that you can learn over time. One of which is by listening to certain songs and seeing how that song is particular to your life or the life of the people around you, okay? And that specific reading will be attached to the end of this one. So if you want to know more about clairaudience. But at the end of that reading, Clairgustance is what came to the forefront. So we're going to figure out what this means and how we can apply it. I was expressed in great urgency to develop this with you on camera instead of doing the work on my own, okay? Even though I will be doing a lot more work on understanding this gift past this moment, okay? So this less common clair is particularly delicious. Clairgustance is when your brain translates the energy patterns you perceive as taste. Okay, so we have clairaudience, which is signature to hearing. And then we have Clairgustance, which is signature to taste. I have this one, I should add it to the end of this too. I have this one reading where I was talking about porridge and how I've never had it before going to Haiti, but I knew what it tastes like. And it's like I already knew I was going to have that experience of going there prior to me going there for like decades. So like Clairgustance, how can we use that during this time? So we're definitely going to tap into the general read card just so we can see how Clairgustance is coming to the forefront, because clairaudience is something a bit more broad, okay? So you can use it across any different medium, any different environment, because we're using our auditory skills all day. However, with Clairgustance, outside of your spit, what are you tasting all day? Maybe gum? So when you get a random flavor in your mouth, or if you have the sensation or the craving for a certain food, a delectable, why and what can it do for your future if you see it as a sign and synchronicity, opposed to seeing it as a craving you need to just succumb to. Instead, see it as a hint to how you need to order your steps to align with more successes and more opportunity. So we have already established that when the cards are in the upright, this deck specifically, we're completing the necessary steps. We're aware of what we need to do, and we're doing it. When the cards are in reverse, we're lacking the awareness. The opportunity is being missed because there's a certain aspect or aspects that we're not really tying into or interpreting in the best way possible. Not to say your interpretation is wrong, and not to say your interpretation is causing chaos. It may just be incomplete. Okay, so here we have unleash your senses, which is obviously what you have to do with Clairgustance. You can't overly ponder why you have these taste sensation. Oh, it's because I ate this today. Oh, it's because I need to chew gum. No, don't push away the sensation. It's not about removing it. It's about understanding why it can magically, and we talked about science versus magic in this reading, so please go back to that reading. But why magically this sensation came about you, and what you can do to make your life better because of it. and it's not always, again, satisfying the craving. So we have Virgo energy, which is methodical, detail-oriented, focused on organizing, completing, analytically thinking, and being concerned with health and food. Here we go. Community service, and generally Virgos are sensitive to criticism, but we're not going to talk about that. That's not really of the utmost importance here. The health and food is what's important. I know oftentimes I'm like, you know what, I have a taste for almonds, but it's because my body's deficient on magnesium, and if I don't adhere to the craving, here is an example where I have to submit to the craving. If I don't, have the ingestment, or if I don't ingest the magnesium, my body could be ill. Okay, so with Clairgustance, it can particularly make you healthy if you see what random taste that you have, and you do feel those cravings. It can like save your health. On the other foot, right, Virgos are methodical and detail oriented. So if it's not about feeling the craving, then what is it about? Is it about a certain experience that you had when you had that food? Is it about a certain person you were with when you had that food? A certain mindset that you had when you had that food? Oftentimes when we're eating new foods and it's different, we either have a very closed mindset that tells us we're not going to like this, and so our body reacts as such. Or we can have a very open mindset that, you know what, I'm just going to do this and I'm going to hope for the best. And in that regard, oftentimes you end up liking it, or you end up having a fun experience to talk about with other people. So in this Virgo, it's about discernment, understanding how that sense of taste can be interpreted either physically for your body's sake, or for your mental health, or for your emotional health, or for the environmental health of those around you. There's a few times where, like, I walk down the street, I walk a lot, so I walk down the street and I'll get a taste for like pizza randomly, like pizza, but not like regular cheese pizza, like an onion roll pizza. I know it sounds gross, but like when I was a kid walking home from school, there was this factory that would make onion rolls, and they smell good. It just smelled like pizza that had like garlic powder and onion powder on it. That's what it smelled like. It smelled so good. And imagine smelling that at the time that you're free from school. You left the confines of the educational prison, and you're able to go and live your free life as a child. Now, my free life was walking home from school and doing my homework, but that transition of walking home and seeing my friends and just being happy that, school is done for the day, and there could be more relaxation, even though there's technically more work to do. It's relaxation a part of it, and it's like, and then you smell the pizza, and it's like, it makes you hungry. You're like, oh, you're looking forward to dinner, and it's things to look forward to. It's a happy experience. So randomly, there will be no onion roll factory around, no pizza place, no food place at all, and I'll be walking through the park having a good time, and I'll just have that aroma of that garlic onion powder on a good slice of pizza, man. And I'm like, today's a good day. What is that doing? That is also manifesting, not only in this moment that it's going to be a good day, but manifesting for other moments that it's going to be a good day, because I'm telling the universe that every time it gives me this scent, I will show appreciation, I will show gratitude, and that is one of the highest frequencies the universe can take energetically to offer you the abundance and prosperity you're calling for and you're requiring to continue this 3D life that you're living. Okay, so Virgo, shows up in the body as your pancreas, small intestine, spleen, and liver. Liver, you could take chunks out that joint and still thrive with the same liver. It is one of the few organs that completely reestablish itself. The lungs and the liver are the two organs that, even if they are on the brink of death, they can have a full rebirth process, and with a little bit of time, be like new. Whereas other organs in the body, once they get to the failing process, most often they have to be replaced. Okay, so where your pancreas is an organ that is unnecessary. A lot of the time, the detail-oriented nature is unnecessary, but maintaining that skill set is important. Okay? Yes, all the details don't help the situation, but you being able to exercise your skill set using those frivolous details as practice, it means that when the real details come into play, you're able to do the necessary work and be trusted confidently within yourself, and then credibly with other people. Okay? Then you have your spleen, which is attached to your liver, and it's that that little part that is kind of like the extra reservoir for the gunk your liver can't process right now, right? It's very similar to like the gallbladder. Your small intestine attached to your large intestine is to remove the minerals and all the health-giving nature. We talked about magnesium. The small intestine is where the magnesium is stripped from the food so that your body can metabolize it in its proper way. So here we go with Virgo, stripping details. But why? They're stripping the important details to make sure that the system is functioning in the best way possible. And whatever details that are not necessary, they're still going to do their process of stripping, but they're going to see that there's nothing to be stripped from them and push them along to the large intestine, which is not their focal point, because that large intestine does what it needs to do in order to excrete. Now we're at the throw out phase. But then on the other hand here, we have cruising Mars. Mars takes 2.5 years to circumnavigate the sun. Mars was the god of war, but he was also the god of farming. You hear this? Farming. War was a destabilizing force which was ultimately meant to lead to greater stability. So while volatile, Mars is not purposely violent. Takes notes on your personal pattern during the next Mars cycle. Okay. So generally your Mars, it has everything to do with your level of aggression, your level of passion with communication. Okay? Now Mercury is all of that, but with your thought process. Okay? So your Mercury it's in your mind. Then you have your Mars, which is happening in your actions, and your actions also involve your words. Okay? So you're paying attention to what you're saying. You're paying attention to how you're saying it. That's not the issue here. Okay? So with the Clairgustance, you understand how the sense of taste is pushing you to say certain things, or is pushing you to move in a certain direction, or go to a certain place, or to give yourself something. But what are you missing? Seeing the symbols to order your steps properly. Okay? So now that you're using the Clairgustance, you have that taste in your mouth of porridge, right? And you realize that now it's the time to go and satisfy this craving, or figure out what this craving is supposed to be meant for. You're satisfying the craving so quickly that you're not seeing what the craving was meant for. You have to sit with the craving for a little bit and understand all the little bitty details that you may not have thought was important with the Virgo actually only being important on this side of the fence. It wasn't important when you were doing all this. You were only doing the beginning work so that when it is important, you can just use the resource that you already prepared. Okay? So now that you have the resources here with the skill set you were practicing, doing all that good stuff, now use those signs over here. And that signs is not just help yourself, help others. The skill set, you learning the skill set is for you, so that you can embody it, you can interpret it for yourself. And then once you interpret it for yourself, you can't just keep your gift by yourself. You need to share your gift with the world. That's the whole point in giving you the gift. You were trusted with this information to spread it, to embellish it, because the information you're embellishing with is truthful and is factual. You have to be the one to share it. You have to be the one to get it out. And if that means not only talking about it, but living it, saying, you know, I have a taste for this, maybe I need to Google it, maybe I need to remember why I have a taste for it. Okay, now that I know all that stuff, let me go satisfy this craving. Okay, am I still thinking about the craving? All right, well, if I'm still thinking about it, maybe it's because of all those theoretical things that I already looked up. Okay, if I'm no longer thinking about it, okay, it was about satisfying the craving, but I was able to take a trip down memory lane to see all the progress I made or the progress that I need to make. All of this is exercising self-awareness. This all happens prior to anybody else experiencing you, anybody else experiencing your gift. This happens so that you are confident and have a credibility within yourself, so that when you are showcasing this gift or this skill set around other people, they naturally gravitate to your truth instead of being repelled by the fact that you know something that they don't. You get what I'm saying? It's like being attracted to light opposed to being attracted to deception so that you can tell somebody else or you can correct it. You get what I'm saying? So use this Clairgustance not as a way to be greedy, you know, but as a way to help the collective thrive by first helping yourself thrive in the best way possible. Okay, so I'll see you soon. You know, congratulations on your new skill sets, Clairaudience and Clairgustance. Okay, until the next.